The following presentation is brought to you by the Pride of ODU, the official NIL collective of Old Dominion Athletics. Be a monarchist. Join the Pride.
and head coach Ricky Rahne. Let's start with a brief opening statement and take questions.
Thought our kids fought hard. We had 2 turnovers are obviously a factor in the game. A big factor. So, just didn't make enough plays to win the game, make enough balls to win the game. So disappointing. But I did think that our players played extremely hard.
Marshall's offense in the second half was rolling. Some of our key players on defense, obviously injured and not playing. Any thoughts at that moment of going for it as opposed to kicking?
That's not a question. The reason I didn't is because, you basically have 4 timeouts because we need 2-minute timeout. Even if we get a 3 and out in that situation, they're already in field goal range if we don't get, you know what I mean? And so that's why, I decided to punt it, pin them deep, gave ourselves a chance to get good field position if we stop them. Unfortunately, they got a couple first downs and eventually got the ball back, but obviously not enough time. So, that's a valid point. And I've got to take, that's my decision solely, and I got to take the blame for it.
Coach, can you describe your emotions? It seemed like you were a little overwhelmed there in the opening statement.
I mean, I don't know if I'm overwhelmed. My players are pretty upset. They're upset they lost the game. They were also upset for, they're upset because some people had some things to say to me as we were going in the locker room. So the players are pretty upset about that. And I feel, again, listen, people are more than entitled to their opinions. I am in a position where people are entitled to their positions. They spend their hard-earned money to come to the games and those sort of things. So they can have their opinions about me. And I told the players, I appreciate them always having my back, which they always do. I don't need them to go outside themselves to do anything. Reality of it is that what I've told them in the locker room is I just want them to have an internal, for their whole lives, an internal desire to win, not something that has to do with external factors, right? You should want to do well in your job because you want to do well in your job, not because you want to get paid more. You should want to do well in your job because you want to do well in your job, not because you want your boss to tell you to do well, right? And so I think that's something that everyone's like, oh, well, that's society nowadays and all that sort of stuff. That's not true. It's we're working on 3,000 years of people having an external focus of an opinion. So I'm just trying to help them in those sort of things and tell them, I care about the things in here, and trust me, I'm harder on myself than any fan could ever. I'm harder on myself than anybody else could. Harder. So none of that. I appreciate everybody's support. And I appreciate the people who come, whether they cheer, whether they boo, whether they do whatever. I appreciate their support, and because they're taking time out of their day and they're being and their hard-earned money to come and support us. So.
The punt where the defender runs into Seamus there. What do the officials say why there was no flag?
I consider myself pretty educated in the rules. And I don't know the rule on roughing or running into the punter, and I argue that no one does. So that's what I would say about that.
that there was contact.
Well, who knows? One thing is said to the young man, another thing is said.
Coach, you were also animated after the 2-point. What did you see there?
I don't understand why they're allowed to I thought that the game management on that should be.
Coach, on kickoffs when we were kicking off to them, was there an issue or what was going on that was causing problems?
There's a lot of issues. Yeah, obviously. I mean, the reality of it is, and I don't mean to be trite, obviously we ended up trying different kicks and things like that because they had a good return team and a good return. He was a good player. They were blocking well. There was too many times where we were, which we had not done all year, where it was we were going 1-for-1. You can't go 1-for-1 on that, or else it's the kicker against the kicker, right? And so we have not done that all year. That unit has been excellent all year long. And I mean, the farthest we let somebody get out before that was the 30-yard line, 31. So we tried different kicks and things like that. We just weren't beating blocks the way we were. We weren't getting the lanes where we needed to. So we're trying different kicks and things like that. It just obviously was not I think our special teams have been excellent all year and really over the 4 years that I've been here. But the reality of it is that was a problem.
Green's been dominant as pass rusher all season. You guys seem to handle that very well. Anything in particular that you could attribute that to?
No, I thought our offensive line played up to their potential when they were blocking. There's some times early on that I thought that we played with some hesitancy and things like that. I just told them at halftime, hey, play with confidence. Just go out there, make a mistake, make it really full speed, and make it with a ton of confidence, right? And I thought that we did that in the second half.
Last week at this time, we talked a lot about mental errors. How big of a factor was that tonight?
There was obviously some. I'd have to watch the tape to say that there was probably a few. There's probably more physical errors tonight than once. Just not wrapping up or the turnovers or ducking our head off block or things of that nature. It didn't see as many mental complete busts as that. So.
Any other questions for Coach?
Coach, after the game, a few players just stayed on the bench, just kind of looking out at the field beyond the interaction with the fans. Can you describe the emotion of the group?
I mean, they wanted to earn a bowl game so they could have 1, 2, 3 more weeks. I mean, yeah, so they understand that that's not an option anymore, and so that hurts.
Anything else?
Which it should, but we're fine.
In terms of getting ready for Arkansas State, I know you said last week how senior night is weird because it's not the final game of the season. Now with the opportunity for bowl eligibility gone, what do you tell the guys going into the Arkansas State game?
So the thing I just said, it's got to be about what matters in here. Right? It can't be about the external factor of earning a bowl game. It's got to be what matters in here. I mean, think about when all you guys were young. You didn't want to win when you were on the playground because somebody was going to run down and cheer for you, right? You didn't want to win when you were on the playground because you somehow got another playground game the next week. You wanted to win on the playground because you wanted to win, right? Because it made you feel accomplished and proud of how you played and how you went out there and did that sort of thing, right? We need that. Again, I think that we need more of that in our society. We need more of it's important about what you accomplish in your life because of this, not because of this.
Good. Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Linebacker Koa Naotala, quarterback Colton. Take questions.
Guys, coach just talked to us about how emotional the locker room was, both because of the loss and because of some things that were said on the way into the locker room. Can you describe the emotions of the team right now?
Anytime we lose, it's always going to be sad or down. And so I think that's what it was. We knew we had to win this game to go to the bowl game, and we didn't do what we wanted to do. So, yeah, obviously we're going to be down about that.
You just hear some things, but you just gotta wash it out. You don't really notice it. Just gotta clear it out of your head. You know?
How was how do you guys look at next week's game? You can't go to a bowl, but you can finish this season with a win. So how are you looking? What's going to be your mental outlook next week?
I think all our mindset going into this game is do this for us. We know what we've been through. We know all the work we put in. And so we just want to do it for us, do it for our seniors, and finish out strong for them.
Colton, the offense took off in the second half. What changed between the two halves?
You know, there's too many mistakes in the first half, and we just found our groove, got in a rhythm. Started, we knew what we were getting defense wise, and we knew how to scheme it up correctly and all that type of stuff. And everyone's just making plays.
I'm wondering, a situation like this, can you guys, obviously it's an emotional point in time, but can you describe what Coach Rahne means to you, means to this team?
He means a lot. He does a lot for us. Even some stuff we don't see, and I know people on the outside looking in might see him as whatever, but to us, like, we know he cares for us. He cares for us as not just football players, but as human beings. And so, yeah, he just does a lot for us.
Great guy on and off the field.
Is that one of the reasons you guys really wanted to win tonight?
For sure.
100%.
For sure. Just for all of us, our coaches, our seniors, just for us, because we, like I said, we know all the work we put in. So.
Anything else for the players?
Colton, what was wrong with the offense in the first half? You guys killed it in the second half.
Like I said, just too many mistakes, too many errors, turnovers, penalties, negative yardage plays, backing up, not going forward. Just too many plays going wrong rather than right. So we just got to move on and make adjustments at halftime.
All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.